He will.
When did you become such an optimist?
This is married happy me.
Can we, are you okay too?
Yes.
Close your eyes.
Unexpected Grey's Anatomy insights even superfans missed. Grey's Anatomy has been on air for nearly 2 decades, but even die-hard fans may have missed some surprising details that add depth to the show. Beyond its emotional storylines and shocking finales, the series hides clever insights that make it even more layered. For starters, scrub colors carry hidden meaning. Blue scrubs usually signal surgical staff, while green is linked to emergency care, mirroring real hospital practices and helping viewers instantly recognize roles during intense scenes. Another fascinating detail: many of the medical cases are inspired by real-life events or medical journals. Writers consult doctors to ensure accuracy, which not only grounds the show in realism, but also educates audiences on complex medical conditions. The show's music choices are also storytelling tools. Every song underscores a mood or gives viewers a peek into a character's inner world, making emotional beats unforgettable long after the episode ends. And then there are the Easter eggs. Grey's Anatomy has built a treasure trove of callbacks, props, dialogue, and subtle nods that connect current episodes to past storylines, rewarding longtime fans with continuity that keeps the Grey Sloan universe alive. Off-screen, creator Shonda Rhimes revealed she almost pulled the plug on Grey's Anatomy before it even premiered. In HBO's new documentary Seen and Heard, Rhimes recalls fighting network pushback when she refused to cast an all-white ensemble. Her insistence on diversity not only shaped Grey's success, but also changed the TV landscape forever. With season 22 set to premiere this October, Grey's Anatomy continues to prove it's more than just a medical drama. It's a cultural phenomenon built on bold choices, hidden layers, and groundbreaking representation. Hey lovely viewers, welcome to our channel Grey's Anatomy Official. Unexpected insights from Grey's Anatomy, even fans missed. Grey's Anatomy has been a television staple for years now, enthralling audiences with its gripping storylines and complex characters. While most fans know the main plot points of the show, there are some amazing, unexpected insights that even the most dedicated viewers may have missed. They give you a deeper understanding of the series and its characters, revealing the layers behind its timelessness. The significance of scrub colors. In Grey's Anatomy, scrub colors are more than just a uniform choice. They are a symbol of different roles in the hospital. Blue scrubs usually denote surgical staff, while green is usually worn by emergency room personnel. This subtle detail helps the viewers quickly recognize character roles and understand their responsibilities in scenes. It also mirrors real-life hospital practices where color-coded uniforms help keep order and efficiency. Real medical cases influence storylines. Many of the medical cases featured in Grey's Anatomy are inspired by real-life events or medical journals. The writers work with medical professionals to ensure that they are accurate and authentic when they portray these cases on screen. This not only adds to the show's realism, but also educates viewers about various medical conditions and procedures. It makes them more invested in each episode. Character development through music choices. Music is an integral part of Grey's Anatomy. It is often used to underscore emotional moments or highlight character development. Each song is carefully picked to reflect the mood of a scene or give a glimpse into a character's inner thoughts. This thoughtful integration of music makes storytelling richer by making it more emotional and leaving an impact on audiences long after an episode ends. Easter eggs connect past and present episodes. Over the years, Grey's Anatomy has featured a plethora of Easter eggs linking old episodes to the current narrative. These hidden gems reward longtime fans with an eagle eye for details, adding a sense of continuity to seasons. Be it the same props or a quiet nod to old plotlines, these Easter eggs make viewing experiences richer by tying different facets of the show's history together. Shonda Rhimes reveals why she almost stopped Grey's Anatomy before it premiered. Shonda Rhimes, the iconic writer and director behind groundbreaking hit shows like Scandal, Bridgerton, and How to Get Away with Murder, has opened up about a moment that almost halted the production of her first TV success, Grey's Anatomy, in its tracks in HBO's new mini-documentary series. Seen and Heard is a new documentary from Issa Rae, the mind behind HBO's hit TV series Insecure. The Emmy winner set out to explore the legacy of African Americans on television and share exactly how creators like Rhimes, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, and more put their stamps on television's colorful history. It's astonishing to me that Grey's Anatomy was the first television show I ever wrote, reflected Rhimes in episode 2 of the series, titled Heard. I'm still amazed and really grateful that people are watching it. But I also feel like people were hungry for a certain kind of TV at that time, and we provided it. Grey's Anatomy kicks off its 22nd season in October 2025, and much of its success has been attributed to its diverse cast. The spectrum of gender, race, and sexualities was a breath of fresh air when the series first premiered in 2005, and it kicked open the door for a flurry of diverse casting in shows. But when she first set out to cast the show, Rhimes hit a roadblock, even after telling her casting agent to bring in everyone. "I'd done something I guess people didn't do," she says. "I hadn't written anyone's race into the script." While casting the pilot episode of the series, Rhimes kept saying, "Where are all the actors?" They would keep sending us these actors who all look the same, who are white. I remember standing up in the room and looking at the president of the network at the time and saying, "I'm not going to have an all-white show." Ellen Pompeo reveals the Grey's Anatomy story she was deeply against. Rhimes recalled everyone around her looking really startled and kept repeating, "Of course not, of course not." That's never been the plan. Once Rhimes put her foot down on the casting, this flood of actors started coming. It was really wonderful. We got to see all these actors who had never been considered for roles other than very small parts. But what gave her the gall to quite literally stand up to the network president? "I just knew that I was not going to make a show that I would have been embarrassed to put on TV," she said in the documentary. "I wasn't going to make a show that I was going to turn to my parents and go, 'Yeah, it has an all-white cast, but that's how TV's made.' How was I going to say that to my dad?" The main lesson Rhimes, as well as the documentary's executive producer Issa Rae, tries to leave with Black and minority creatives is to trust their gut and hold steadfast in creating the stories they want to tell, and to find ways to tell them despite what the Hollywood systems in place might think. When you're trying to be creative in a world in which you are afraid, I think a fearlessness is necessary, concluded Rhimes. Grey's Anatomy was just the beginning for Rhimes, who went on to executive produce shows like Private Practice, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder, Bridgerton, Station 19, Inventing Anna, and most recently, The Residents. She is currently estimated to be worth over $240 million. Grey's Anatomy returns for season 22, with one possible cast departure. This story was originally reported by Parade on September 11, 2025, where it first appeared in the TV section. Add Parade as a preferred source by clicking here. Oprah Winfrey was fired as a local TV news reporter over her coverage of Black people. It led to her iconic talk show. The legend discusses the highs and lows of her career in the new HBO documentary Seen and Heard. Oprah Winfrey got her start at 19 as a local TV news reporter. The Oprah Winfrey Show made its national debut in 1986. Winfrey and a number of other successful Black creatives discussed their challenges and triumphs in the new HBO documentary Seen and Heard. Oprah Winfrey has one of the most singular careers in the history of everything. She ruled daytime TV for decades with her top-rated talk show. She scored an Oscar nomination for her film debut in the 1985 classic The Color Purple. She built a multi-billion-dollar entertainment empire from the ground up, launching her own magazine and 2 cable channels and helping to turn a succession of unknown authors into literary superstars. But Oprah wasn't always the successful Oprah we've seen over the past 4 decades. In the beginning, she was a fledgling TV reporter who was in way over her head. The broadcast legend takes a look back at her humble beginnings in the new HBO documentary Seen and Heard, which explores the twisty trajectory of Black talent on television, from the 1950s up to the present. Executive produced by Issa Rae, the 2-part documentary features Black VIPs like Debbie Allen, Tyler Perry, Tracee Ellis Ross, and Winfrey reflecting on their journeys. "I started working in TV when I was 19 years old," Winfrey, 71, says in the first episode. "I was a general assignment reporter, so that means whatever is happening, you're out there, in general, covering it. And I was not happy being a news reporter because I felt that it was exploiting people every day, telling the worst of what was happening, and it didn't feel good for me." Winfrey came up with a ploy that worked for her but didn't really fly with the powers that be. So if I was covering a story and Black people were involved, I would try to make sure that the image that was being shown of that person was something that was going to reflect us in a light that was not negative, she explains. That's why I was not a good reporter, and eventually was eliminated from that job. I'd been fired off of the evening news, and they didn't want to pay out my contract, so I was put on the talk show to kind of get rid of me, she continues. Unexpectedly, a star was born. The rest is daytime TV history. And it turned out to be the thing that actually was my coming home to myself, Winfrey says. I was just trying to let people see a woman feeling, a woman human, a woman Black. Several years, several local talk shows, and one relocation from Baltimore to Chicago later, The Oprah Winfrey Show debuted nationally in 1986, the year after her profile rose significantly from her acclaimed turn in director Steven Spielberg's The Color Purple. By the end of the 80s, Winfrey was the most popular talk show host on daytime TV, having grabbed the crown from the legendary Phil Donahue. In Seen and Heard, Winfrey recounts an interaction with a fan that made her feel that she had truly arrived. I received a letter from a woman in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and she said, "Oprah, watching you be yourself every day makes me want to be more of myself. That is one of the greatest things I've ever heard about myself. I could put that on my tombstone. Watching you be yourself every day makes me want to be more of myself." One Grey's Anatomy character is in need of an upbeat romance in season 22. Romances are as much a staple of Grey's Anatomy as its unbelievable medical cases and plot twist-ridden finales, and one character in particular is in dire need of an upbeat love story in Grey's Anatomy season 22. Between Owen and Teddy's marriage reaching an unfavorable turning point and Simone and Lucas's on-and-off relationship, few happy romances were developed in season 21. The only couple that made strides in a somewhat happy direction were Jo and Link, who finally connected genuinely about expecting twins and even tied the knot, although that positive development was soon overcast by Grey's Anatomy season 21's cliffhanger ending that endangered link. Season 22 should put romance back at the center of Grey's Anatomy, starting with Benson Quan. Benson Blue Quan, only facing heartbreaks, needs a happy romance in Grey's Anatomy season 22 since his introduction in Grey's Anatomy season 19. Benson Quan was portrayed as someone not interested in making friends, extremely dedicated to the residency program as he seemed. Grey's Anatomy quickly revealed that Blue's aloofness had to do with his backstory, as his medical studies were interrupted because of his mother's illness, which led Blue to care for her. The heartbreak of her death explained Blue's perspective on several topics, from the healthcare system to his refusal to get close emotionally to his fellow interns. However, this doesn't mean he didn't catch feelings, as his fling with Jules in Grey's Anatomy season 20 proved. Indeed, even if he wouldn't admit it, Blue's feelings prompted him to disregard Maxine's DNR. Blue made a point not to be open about his feelings, as doing so often backfired. However, his friendship with Simone made him more receptive, making a potential romance in Grey's Anatomy season 22 less of a prospective debacle. Their connection was quickly forgotten due to Jules and Mika's romance showing much promise for Grey's Anatomy season 21, and season 20's finale simultaneously introduced another key storyline for Blue in the form of his ex-fiancée Molly. Rekindling their romance in season 21 didn't go much better, as Molly was with Blue in the hope of getting her memories back. Grey's Anatomy season 21 saw Blue unmistakably improve professionally, but what was new in his personal life was only his close friendship with Simone and reaching a point where he and Lucas tolerated one another. This, coupled with his backstory and his tragic love stories, makes it imperative that Blue finally starts a happy romance in Grey's Anatomy season 22. How focusing on Quan's personal life can help his development after season 21, the focus on Lucas's ADHD diagnosis, Jules's problems with her family, and Simone's terrible history at her previous residency program all enriched their storylines. This was also true for Mika before she exited Grey's Anatomy in season 21. However, the same cannot be said for Blue, despite his past barging into his present through Molly. With the Molly storyline only being introduced to create more heartbreak, as she was never really interested in him, Grey's Anatomy season 22 should focus more on developing new storylines for Blue. His reaction to going to watch a basketball match with Ndugu showed how much Blue needs a life outside Grey Sloan Memorial's walls. This can take the form of a drama-free romance with someone new. After all, season 21's ending showed the arrival of a new class of interns. While one of them will inevitably spell drama for Lucas and Simone, others could mean lighthearted fun for Blue at last in Grey's Anatomy Season 22. Enjoy Screen Rant's primetime coverage? Click below to sign up for our weekly Network TV newsletter. Make sure to check Network TV in your preferences and get the inside scoop from actors and showrunners on your favorite series. Grey's Anatomy showrunner says no character is necessarily safe after explosive season finale. Grey's Anatomy showrunner Meg Marinus has confirmed fans' worst fears after the explosive finale of its 21st season on Thursday night, May 15th. This article contains Grey's Anatomy's Season 21 spoilers. The show was left on a shocking cliffhanger when it was revealed that a highly flammable acetylene tank, which was believed to be empty, had accidentally leaked its volatile contents to the operating rooms on the floor above. The episode concluded with a dramatic explosion, with the last shot showing Meredith Grey, Ellen Pompeo, staring on in shock as flames engulfed the hospital. When asked about the futures of the show's most beloved characters, showrunner Meg Marinus was not optimistic. She told The Hollywood Reporter, "I feel like a lot of people are probably sitting in operating rooms, so unless you saw them and where they were when that explosion went off, I don't think we can say anyone is necessarily safe." The 10 greatest TV doctors of all time. One is only 16 years old. Expand article logo, continue reading. Chris Carmack's character Link, who was shown in the operating room, was almost certainly in harm's way. Link had celebrated his wedding day and marriage to Jo Camilla Luddington the episode before. The list of iconic TV doctors is long, ranging from the protagonist in Doogie Howser, MD, to the revolving door of characters going in and out of Seattle Grace Hospital. However, some have been more memorable than others. These doctors have left their mark and have become TV legends over the years, whether they're good at their job or not. With the ever-growing state of TV, though, the list of great fictional doctors continues to expand. Yes, most of the best physicians starred in older shows. They have had time to leave behind a legacy, after all. That doesn't mean that current medical TV series can't produce fantastic fictional doctors, as one of them already has after only one season. Doogie Howser. Doogie Howser, MD. Doogie Howser might have only been a teenager in Doogie Howser, MD, but he was still much more impressive than most of his peers who were older than him. I mean, a kid who graduated from Princeton University when he was 10 and then finished medical school 4 years later is bound to stick with viewers. Doogie was enthralling from the start. Doogie and his medical drama have certainly left their mark on TV. For example, Neil Patrick Harris played the young surgeon, and that role follows him everywhere he goes. Plus, Disney Plus released a Doogie Howser, MD reboot, Doogie Kamealoha, MD. Unfortunately, it got cancelled after 2 seasons. It's still clear, though, that Harris's Doogie is among the best TV doctors. Gregory House. House. Not only is there no other doctor like Hugh Laurie's Gregory House on TV, but there is also no other character like him, period. House's protagonist is so incredibly unique that he's bound to leave an impression on just about every viewer, even if they've only watched one episode. Some might not like him, but that doesn't matter. House is intriguing all the same. The best way to describe House is as a cynical curmudgeon, and that doesn't change all that much over the course of House's 8 seasons. From assaulting his subordinates and patients to lying about having cancer to get drugs, House makes it very clear who he is from the start. He's simply captivating to watch. It also helps that Laurie did such a good job of portraying House that he was nominated 6 times at the Emmys for his performance. If it weren't for Laurie, House wouldn't be half the iconic doctor he is. Thankfully, Laurie was the one to play him, and TV lovers everywhere should be eternally grateful. Benjamin Hawkeye Pierce. M*A*S*H. Given that M*A*S*H is considered one of the greatest TV shows of all time, it would only be right if its main character is also among the best fictional doctors. Alan Alda starred as Benjamin Hawkeye Pierce in the CBS war comedy drama. Hawkeye was the chief surgeon of the 4077th Mobile Army Surgical Hospital during the Korean War. Given that Alda appeared in all 256 episodes of M*A*S*H, it only makes sense that his character is the most known and beloved. Hawkeye was the series' beating heart. Without him, M*A*S*H wouldn't be nearly as renowned. Hawkeye uplifted the show with his jokes and pranks, but he also had a tender side that endeared him to many. As such, He's one of the greats when it comes to TV doctors. Hawkeye set the bar high during M*A**S*H's run in the 1970s/1980s, and not many have risen to his level. Meredith Grey. Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy is undoubtedly one of the most popular medical dramas of all time, and it's still running today. At its center is Ellen Pompeo's Meredith Grey, who has deserved her spot on the TV's greatest doctors list. Pompeo has played her for 2 decades. If Meredith isn't an iconic TV surgeon, then there's something very wrong with the world. Meredith has experienced just about everything a human being could go through over the course of a lifetime or two. Somehow, she has endured it all. Meredith has survived many catastrophes, tragedies, etc. Meanwhile, Pompeo's protagonist is also an extraordinary doctor. To say that she's impressive is an understatement. Doug Ross. ER. Many consider ER to be the best medical drama ever, sorry Grey's Anatomy, and as a result, the show introduced fans to a plethora of memorable doctors. However, it might be safe to say that ER's most pivotal character is George Clooney's Doug Ross. The pediatric fellow was a constant throughout the first 5 seasons, and it felt wrong when he left. Doug certainly didn't have his personal life figured out in ER, but he was incredible at his job. He put his all into his work, which sometimes got him in trouble. Still, Doug's charisma and dedication molded him into a beloved TV character and doctor. Clooney's role in ER also helped launch his career, which says a lot about Doug's impact. Michaela Quinn. Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. Michaela Quinn overcame a lot to become a respected physician in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, given the fact that she's not a man and lives in the Wild West in the 1860s. She faced adversity but never gave up on her goals. Consequently, Jane Seymour's character was a pioneer who many could look up to and respect. Michaela's bravery, determination, and skill have easily earned her a spot on the list of TV's greatest doctors. There is no doubt about that, given the show's durable legacy. Despite airing 30 years ago, Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman is still a beloved series, and many still regard Michaela as a strong role model, which is highly impressive and commendable. Jack Shephard. Lost. While the audience didn't see Jack Shephard in his natural environment as a surgeon too often in Lost, he was still a doctor and remains an iconic TV figure. Plus, Jack's skills as a doctor frequently emerged on the island anyway. His medical knowledge was critical to their survival, and it helped him become the stranded group's de facto leader. If it weren't for Jack, more would have died after the crash. That number would only grow as the days went on, though, as Jack was a steadfast, reliable leader. Despite this, Matthew Cox's character might not have been everyone's cup of tea. However, Jack was an important figure in Lost. It's only right that he's one of TV's best doctors. John J.D. Dorian. Scrubs' most celebrated TV doctors come from medical dramas and can often be brooding souls. However, that's certainly not the case for Zach Braff's John J.D. Dorian from Scrubs. The medical sitcom utilized slapstick humor, satire, and many more comedic techniques to alleviate the hospital setting, and J.D. was at the center of it all. Braff's character was the show's narrator as the audience saw the story through his eyes, and through his countless daydreams. J.D. was Scrubs. Perhaps he wasn't always the most likable character, but when one thinks of Scrubs, JD's face is probably the first one that comes to mind. The comedy series featured many other memorable doctors, of course. No one could forget Christopher Turk, Elliot Reed, Carla Espinosa, Bob Kelso, or Perry Cox. If this list expanded to TV's 50 greatest doctors, they would likely make the cut. Unfortunately, there can only be 10, and no one could beat JD, who is coming back in the highly anticipated Scrubs revival. Michael Robbie Robinovich. The Pitt. This might be a bold take, given that The Pitt has only released 1 season, but Noah Wile's Michael Robbie Robinovich has already claimed his spot as one of the best TV doctors. The HBO Max medical drama premiered in January 2025 and quickly became one of the most talked about shows. Everyone was watching, and Wile takes a lot of credit for that. It certainly doesn't hurt that Wile is also known for his role as John Carter in ER, who was in contention for the greatest TV doctors list. People loved him Carter. So, it only makes sense for them to watch Wile in another medical drama series. With The Pitt, Wile proved that ER wasn't a fluke, he was born to play TV doctors. Christina Young. Grey's Anatomy. Yes, Grey's Anatomy's Meredith is one of TV's finest doctors, but so is Christina Young. Sandra Oh's character is cutthroat, unyielding, passionate, competitive, and everything anyone would want to be as a surgeon. Christina often comes across as cold, but she has a tender side that makes her unique. She is simply someone to look up to. Sadly, Christina left Grey's Anatomy in season 10. She is no longer a part of the ABC medical drama, and yet, she has left her mark on the show and its characters. Christina is as present in the series as anyone who isn't actually on it could be. Her legacy couldn't have been achieved without Oh. Oh was a standout in an ensemble cast made up of numerous talented actors and actresses. She managed to make her character one of the most interesting figures in Grey's Anatomy, despite having a personality that some would be turned off by. As such, Christina will always be one of the greatest TV doctors of all time, alongside Meredith, Doogie Howser, and more. Thanks for watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.